G'day folks, welcome back to part 3 of our collaborative Cryptic Crossword cluing stream. So, we know what we're doing. If you haven't joined for the first 2 streams, you might not, but we know what's up. We've got a crossword, and we're making it. And we're going to continue cluing. We probably won't finish it tonight, but we'll see how we go. So, g'day TV and Ignotus in the chat, hope you're both well. Right, now I haven't looked at this at all in the last 2 weeks. I didn't stream last week, as I said before. Previously I was at a work Christmas party, so that's why. Hey Tace, welcome also to you. Hope you're well. So, let's continue. And in the interest of sort of new stream, fresh pairs of eyes, let's just ignore the clues that we've kind of looked at that we're not sure of. Let's just try new clues and we'll come back and revisit and we'll see how we go. Now, let's see, is that going to work? That's not terrible. I will need to probably just change that a little, so let's just do that. What we need is this. That's kind of a rough thing of where we're at. We don't need that much. There we go. So from time to time I'll just pop that there so you can see the types of clues that we've got. And some are obviously going to be multiple clue types, but that's what we've got so far. And we'll see if we can continue and get some more types in there. So there we go. Right, okay. Yeah, fire away. This is the time, so go for it. Okay, looking at the spoonerism, right. Which was... too old, okay. Because we were trying to get... No, that was the letter bank. So, is it outgrow? This one? Spooner's mortar. I see. Grout. Outgrow, grout O. Right? Is it this one that we're looking at? It's become too old, outgrow. Yeah. So let's just pop that in, and just the explanation is the important bit here, I think. Grout O. Grout O. Too old. Is that what we're thinking? IC is O, right. So maybe we should put that. Yeah, we'll just put that there. And mortar is grout. So let's just... There we go. Yeah, I was just missing the O bit. I see. O, exclamation mark. Cool. That's really fun. Spoonerism's good to get in there. Because they don't always work. Okay, I love it. It's really good. I'm happy with that. So, awesome. Any other ideas on the other ones? Feel free to fire away. I was just going to continue with basically the next one in order. unless anything tickles our fancy. Yeah, I think just probably in order seems reasonable. Okay. So let's just look at incidence, right? Occurrence, rate, frequency. Amount. Okay, so also looking at this one for extra. Old painting, perhaps. So art. Left, so reversal, and a right. So reading, instead of reading left to right, the letters are going in the left direction. So reversal. Performer. Completely speechless. Oh, old is X. Right. Painting perhaps going left. Okay, that's the wordplay. Completely speechless. Wordplay is good, I think. So performer who's completely speechless is an extra because they don't have dialogue, right? I think that's the sort of the question mark. Yeah, right? And the question mark is there, you know, because, yeah, it's an extra, right? It's a performer who's speechless, therefore they don't have dialogue. Right? There could be one acting speechless, okay? One acting speechless. We could just get rid of this word. Yeah, less is more, perhaps. And put actor here. Right? It's just a bit shorter, a bit cleaner. Kind of combining the two ideas. Old, X. Painting, perhaps. Art. Left, reversal. Actor, speechless. An actor is speechless. Doesn't have dialogue. Cryptic, deaf. One who does an unspeakable act and gets shot. Oh no, I don't like that. Yeah. Unspeakable act. Yeah, no. I think definitely the first idea is good. I think this is fine, right? And we could put performer or actor, you know. Like the wordplay is really good. So don't think we need to worry about that. Old painting perhaps left actor speechless, or old painting perhaps left performer speechless. If you're an extra, are you an actor or a performer? Performer to me was more like a circus, you know, aerialist, acrobat type situation. Actor fits better for me, I think. So I think I'm inclined to go with actor. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. Okay, so we got a couple of charades. We got a reversal. Okay. Now I want to be careful because we've got two reversals here and here. So we don't want this one to be a reversal, right? This one is not, that's fine. One acting speechless. It says of someone lying about being shocked at the painting. Well, I think, you know, like we usually like to do. Right, just, you know, comparing the pair. Just so we can see them side by side. So, you know. One acting speechless. I think putting the speechless at the front won't work, right? I'll paint it perhaps left speechless actor, you know. Yeah, one acting. Yeah, we can't do actor acting speechless. Could we do one old painting perhaps left performer acting speechless? Maybe that is the one. Yeah, I think that's the one. Yeah. I think I'm happy with that now. I'll just put, that is to say, without dialogue. Yep. Cool. All right, awesome. Happy. Okay. Cool. So let's go back to this one then. This is the next one in order. Like that. Any other definitions? Incidents. Oh, yeah. Yeah, physics definition. Probably not ideal. Yeah, rate of something. Rate of spread, you know. Right, prevalence is total existing cases. That's different. How many new people got sick this year? Yeah. All right, and now think about the wordplay, which is always a consideration. So what clue types are we missing? maybe that's something to think about too. So charades, anagrams, containers, hidden reversal. We don't have double def or cryptic def. Letter bank, I think 16 down, pepper dip, we were looking at that, pride, right? So maybe double def, cryptic def, probably can't do a double def here. Also want to look at adjacent clues that we've looked at and not repeat similar things. So reverse hidden, so we don't want to do reversal or a hidden. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. Here we haven't looked at that yet. Okay. So we got ink, like incorporated type situation. We got an ID there. Could do that, right? Dense homophone. It's only changing one letter. Oh, incense. That's interesting thought. Okay, so let's look up. But is it? This is CE, right? Is incense is SE? That doesn't work exactly. Yeah, I also do a homophone of incense. Right, perfume or to make angry, right? We don't have any homophones yet. Okay, I'm just going to consider, you know, let's think about it. There's enough letters. So nothing particularly that's inspiring there. It's always worth just thinking about anagrams, right? 20 across. Oh, interesting. Play sin. Cool. Something like insert, right? So that's a possibility. This is still a thing. There's like 20 million. Oh, lovely. Looks like we can't get the anagram thing happening. Ah, well. Haha. That's all right. I don't think we're going for an anagram anyway for this. No. So this could be interesting. Yeah, I think I like this bit more. Okay, so sense, yeah. Amount is incidents, right? Library at church. With it coming back 0.01, so cents. Library at church. Church is CE. It coming back, there's no it. Okay, den. Oh, interesting. Within. With, right? So den CE, with, so after. It. Coming back 1 cent. Library at church. With. In is it. Is that what it is? So with is the... Yeah, I got that. Yep. So library den, church CE, with, so after, in, universal IC. So in is it. If something's in, it's fashionable, it's it. It's trendy. So in. It's it this year. Okay. It's tricky. I can see it working though. Library at church with it coming back as amount. Can we do a bit more with like linking the wordplay to the def? Like church library is better than library at church, but that's not the right order. I mean, church library initially, or church library at first. Right, because I'm trying to put, if we go church library, I'm trying to obviously put the library first. So church library initially or at first, which can misdirect for the first letter of library. But once you get the D, then you might be thinking, okay, den. There's also a fun little situation because there's a lot of... No, it's not quite going to work there. I-E-N. Okay, so letterbank's not going to work because I don't think we can make a word of those letters. But there is a lot of... What am I trying to do? That's a lot to do, though. Right. Penny, that is outside. North Carolina twice. That is outside amount. Right? If we want to be really crazy. Do D inside IE, that is. Inside North Carolina twice. Or, you know, and no charge or whatever. That is outside, right? We could be crazy like that. Just have a hidden, like 3 hiddens kind of thing. Or containers, right? D inside IE, inside NC twice, inside IE. We've got a container here. And we've got a container here. How would this look? Or we look at... There's no NC. It's pretty difficult, I think. And we've used the compass trick, right? Like east, north, easterly for E and E. So we kind of don't want to use a compass trick here. Necessarily. Tricky. Okay. Amount in 101 ICI. Number in 101 to 500 pence initially rejected. Yes. Okay. Yeah, this is too ambitious, I think. It's too much. So I like that. Or... Oh, okay. Interesting. So there's your Church of England. Interesting. Okay. We could combine notes idea with something like this. Because we've got in, right? A pub or a bar, a tavern. Have we used that already? We're looking here. In as a bar. So we probably don't want to use that there. Okay. I mean, if we use a bar here, we could use a pub here or something. I don't know if I like using the same charade twice, even though it's a different replacement each time. I just see an anagram of dice, right? D-I-C-E, inside. And there's your Church of England at the end, right? I mean, N as a single letter, there's so many things, right? North, compass point. So... Okay, let's just go back and get a... Go to occurrence. What of new cases? Well, okay, let's not get rid of all those things, but something like this could work. That tidies the service up a little bit. Rate. Could be nice to have to misdirect as a verb on the surface. Because number of new cases is like the incidence, right? Of a disease, for example. Then amount doesn't work here. I need a different word here, right? Yeah, I don't like these ideas. I don't want to use the in idea, right? Interesting. Right, I'm just looking at anagram of dice, and there's dice with a deletion of D. There's your second dice, if you like. Anagram of dice inside N plus anagram dice. No. Okay, so it's N It's getting a bit messy now. Right. So anagram of dice inside NN, which is inside anagram, a deletion of dice without the D. Which is also pretty tricky to pull off. But I see a double dice, right? What could N be? Half an M, that's tough. A knight. Name. Noon, north. Or, that's pretty difficult, so what about... Okay, another suggestion here. Company, documents, state earbuds initially. Broken by energy frequency. Frequency is the def, okay. Okay. Okay, let's piece this together. I think I can see what's happening. Okay, so its company is incorporated. Documents ID, and it's company, documents, state, earbuds. Okay, no, so it's the whole thing. Company, documents, state, earbuds initially, broken by energy, frequency. That's good. I think we have something we can definitely work with there. Company being incorporated is fine, right? That's, I think, yeah, let's just... Incorporated business... Incorporated business corporation, right? That's fine. That association I'm happy with. Documents being ID, that seems fine too. EDS, like analysis. Oh, ID identification. Yep. Done. That's fine. So those charades work. Company, documents, state, so North Carolina. Earbuds initially. Broken by, so around. Energy being E. Frequency is the def. Energy frequency is a nice surface. Company, documents, state, broken by energy frequency, all solid. Earbuds initially is fine. So initially, at first, leading. Yeah, we can fine tune, you know, superior earbuds or you know, leading earbuds, earbuds, or any E word really. But, you know, listening devices, frequency, that fits pretty well. So, charade, container, that's fine. So we don't want 9 across to be a container, for sure. So we don't want, if we can help it, we don't want a charade or a container for 9 across, because that would triplicate these 3 clues having all 3 clues having those 2 devices. So, cool. Let's move on. Let's look at this and make sure we have a reverse hidden. That's fine. It's not a charade or container, so that's fine. That's good. So that works nicely. Now this one, we probably don't want a charade if we can help it. Don't want a container. 14 downs are hidden, which is pretty far away. So we could do a hidden here. Okay, so let's just remind ourselves, I think we kind of know. There's, 54, right? Noble gas is a solid shout. Electric lamps. Because xenon, right? Like neon, right? Like they're used in certain things. What is xenon used in for? Lighting, medical fields, ion thrusters, right? High intensity lighting, ion thrusters, lasers, strobe lights. Lasers we could definitely do something with, I feel. Speaking of hints, I spotted that Nation Alp as. Okay. We only have 14 downs hidden. Bring about. Which is this one, right? Create is bring about. Fragment of. And there it is. Hidden across 4. It's beautiful, right? That's fantastic. And it's pretty far away, right? It is... Is it the next clue? It's the next clue. I mean, a partial hidden, potentially. Or if we do that as hidden, then we absolutely have to make sure that free is not hidden and that this one's not hidden. Here, we're thinking about a letter bank or, something like that. So I feel like that's fine. We have to make sure that free is not hidden, which there's flexibility with that, right? So let's... We'll just put that there as an idea. Okay. Cool. Let's go back to here. So we don't really want, if we can avoid it, a charade or a container. Straight up hidden's fine. Reverse hidden, not, because we just didn't note it. Anagram won't work with such a short word, I don't think. It's worth noting we have an anagram there, which is a second anagram. So anagram here, anagram here. Gets tricky, right? This is where it gets tricky. We don't want to duplicate types of clues necessarily. What is xenon? It's a chemical element, and it's probably that about it. It is a foreigner. Yeah, we can't use a double def because there's only one definition, really. Reversals, we have this one, which is pretty far away, and this one. So none is interesting, right? Or no. Or no next minus t. Like a deletion's really good, right? We could do a deletion, it'd be interesting. For example, or right, axed, axes. Or actually, let's just do it as a separate thing. Got 10 marks the spot. Cross. $54. So let's say 54 being a definite, you know. 1 being 54. Cut. And before long beheaded. Yeah, the 54 as a definition looks interesting to me. We could put 54, number 54, and people would know it's definitely not a recursive clue, right? There's only, what, 20, what's the largest number? 28. We could put noble gas. That's a pretty fair, easy def. We could put chemical element, which is very fair, or element. For element. I'm trying to make, like a reversal of next deletion with T plus on is working, right? Being an element. Oh, interesting. Interesting. About. Oh, interesting. Oh, very clever. That's very clever. No, that's very clever. I like it. Right? That's sneaky. That's very good. That's great. Short clue. Yep. Love it. And it's cryptic def, right? Which is good. We don't have that, so that's amazing. That breaks things up really nicely. Yeah. Because it's hard to get cryptic defs. So, solid. Love it. That's great. So, we'll do... That solves all our problems. About not using too many charades or containers, not using too many anagrams early on. Yeah, it's really good. Okay, brilliant. All right, so page 4 is the next one. Again, I'm just going in order. So page 4 is the cost of shouts, like, oh, my shout. Right, like it's my shout, you paid last time kind of thing. Right, so always the first thing is just to look at this. Yeah, no. Yeah, remunerates, indemnifies, sponsors. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah. Be punished, atone. Covers. Yeah, covers is interesting. Right, because you pays for covers, right? Covers the cost of something. Covers is a very good generic kind of word in the surface. Now, so we've got anagram there, and then this one I just kind of had ideas. Right, because Roman historian or Latin for silent or quiet, we kind of have to use one of those. It's a tough word, right? This is a short word. We can do anything we want with that, really. He's Paul. Spinnerism here could work. I don't think you want to use more than, certainly no more than probably 2. Oh, that's even... No. This one. It's poor. Right? Or something, you know. Or that. Right? Pays for, so phase pour. Right? Phase pour a liquid. Or phase pour like a foot, like a hand. So that's a possibility. And the other spoonerism is here. So that's far enough away. Let's have a look and see if we can maybe... Now, if this is working again. Okay, so partial. Okay, there's 4 A's. That's interesting. Doesn't really give the best anagram, this one. Nothing brilliant, I think. Oof, why S and F and not great letters in the middle? Hidden's not going to work, not with those letters. I mean, you could do something like, you know, repays, but then, you know, reverse hidden. ROF, I mean, that's not great either. There is a reversal of. So, this doesn't really, I can't think of a surface that would work for this, for the spooner, right? I'm having trouble. Phase animal paw, like phase paw this way, doesn't make much sense to me. And if you put like Fay, F-A-Y, like a person's name, that's probably not really brilliant either. So this one's out for me. Phase paw. Seems clunky. I don't think a spooner's going to work. All right, we need... It'd be nice to get like an alternation, right? An oddly or evenly or something. Oh, okay. Of raspy. That does mix the letters up nicely. Shouts is good. Yeah, okay. So going for a full anagram. Right, raspy shouts, like someone who's got a raspy voice. Alright, well now I think the next thing to look at is Cryptopedia. And anagram indicators. Right, and yeah, thank you. Please go away. So, of raspy shouts. You're looking at the spinnerism, okay. Sponsors, right, Def? Episode well. Oh, interesting. Phase Paul. Phase Paul. Phase 4, yeah. Episode is a phase, okay. Well is poor. Does that work? Like a well with a bucket, you know? Tears weave into well up. Well, poor. I mean, it's not here, but it looks pretty close. That's tough. I think they're both good shouts, actually. I'm gonna just leave that, I think. I'm not sure. This might be another leave this for now, and we'll come back and see how we're going. If we have a lot of anagrams, we don't do the anagram. If we need an anagram, we can come back and include this one. And we've got one spinnerism, so we could add a second. I probably wouldn't add any more. So I think it's one of these. And I think we let the other clues dictate which one. If one of two flow options doesn't work. But I think one of these is going to work nicely. They both are good. Okay. Short word. Age. You're looking at truth. Okay, I'll put it in, but I want to look at age. I just want to go in order, I think. Beginner will find none in this puzzle. Maybe one. Okay, beginner, learner, L. None in this puzzle. Yep, unch is an unchecked cell. You'll find none. But that's not true, right? Right, because there are unchecked cells. And is maybe one like 1 p.m. for lunchtime? Is that what that's getting at? I also see this. I see a deletion of A from launch. Which to me looks interesting. Right? So it's it's a misdirect, right? So project missing something, but project is launch, right? But a project missing A, so missing A is good surface, you're missing the A. So it's launch missing A, and then we just need the def. Meal, or, you know, something, right? That seems fun. If we can make a good def here. Meal. Middle of the day. Middle of the day, okay. You know, or something like that. Trash cans are. Launch is trash. Cans is deletion. Okay. Ah, it's R. Ooh, I don't. A is R. R. Ooh, that's tricky. You need a hom-off indicator. I don't like that as much. Launch being trash is very wild, I think. R is a unit. Oh. Ignition. Oh, okay. Without A. Yeah. So it's good, right? A is a very versatile letter in the surface. Source of fuel. Oh, source of fuel. Question mark. Brilliant. That is great. Yeah, this is great. This is perfect, right? This is exactly why you do a collaborative cryptic crossword, right? Because someone comes up with an idea, for example, me having the deletion, and it's nice, we haven't had a deletion yet, and then someone just finds a better way of making it work. Great def, that's fantastic. We're going with that. That's a done deal. So without A, missing A, you know, all that sort of thing is nice. Source of fuel, right? It's good to have a few question marks. We don't want too many. But this is only the second one, I believe, correct? There's one. We can, you know, think about that. Okay, 2. So this is our third one then. And we're going to need one here, right? 4. That's okay. This will be 4 if we put pepper dip, pride, letter bank. That's fine. We don't want, for example, 10. I think 10's too many, but you know, half a dozen is probably okay. Right? Brilliant. That is good news. Deletion. And we probably don't need this then. Just get rid of this. That's good. Okay. Really good. This is good. All right, making good progress. But we all had good ideas right there. And we all got on board the deletion train, and it just went beautifully. Okay. So let's just revisit this for a sec. That's where we're at. Okay. Plenty of charades, a few anagrams, a few containers, a deletion, a hidden, a reverse hidden, a couple of reversals, spooner, and a cryptic. That's cryptic def. Great stuff. Yeah. A double def would be good, and a homophone, right? Here we could have a homophone. That's interesting. I want to look at age first, though. So we got flexibility there. Oh, we didn't look at Tacitus. Let's look at this. This is a pretty tough one. I feel like the def has to be one of those things. Probably Roman historian is better. So I'm just going to say that's a thing. Got two reversals, but they're here, so we could use a reversal. The reason I say that is because I right, cat. That's a possibility. That something like that could work as well, right? Act 1 inside, so I1 inside act, right? And then we got TUS. Now TUS can be Tusk losing a K, right? Our deletion's 23 down, so we can definitely do another deletion here. We can do, you know, half of tussle. Right, so half letters. We could do let's go to one look and thinking about TUS. Right, truism, or we go the other way. Okay, struts. Right, half letters, oddly, evenly, so evenly struts. Right, so this is coming together, sort of, right? And then we need something probably here, right? Something here. Right, it's good to have an evenly or oddly, right? Can we make this work? The key is what goes here, right? Because Act 1 inside is inside TUS. So it's a double container. Can we make a double container work here? So the surface could be Act 1, like the title of a play, you know. So we could do inside something something, you know. We could do Act I, just the letter I, as in I, me. Act I broke, you know, evenly struts or something, right? Like broke as a container indicator, but not broken because we've already used that in the puzzle elsewhere. Historian, yeah, which is fine. You know, don't have to put Roman. Evenly struts during. Okay, yes. During Act 1 inside. Yeah, the other way, right? Historian evenly struts outside. Yeah. What you're saying, but the other way around, right? That'll work. That'll absolutely work, I think. Yeah. But this is good. We're running with this. We're just got to make it work. Yeah, I think for the surface, this is good, right? So there's your evenly struts. There's this, right? TUS. Now we just need something Act 1, right? Or Act 1 or Act 1, right? Act I, maybe for a play. We can absolutely make it work, right? So we've got the def, we've got TUS, we just need that's on the outside of Act 1 inside, right? Or do we flip the order? We don't need to use struts. We do have choices. Strums, right? Strums is a thing. But evenly struts, right? TUS, and we with the T and the S are check letters. I mean, does strums work better than struts, for example? Which is why the other way around, right? Act 1 inside. Ooh. I'm just going to go back to this. I mean, if we're worried about the obscureness, right, we just do this, right? That makes it absolutely clear where the def is, right? And we just need something here then, right? Because there's I inside act, right? There's asset. And then evenly struts, but we need this to be on the outside, or this to be on the inside of this, or this to be on the inside of that. And there's your def. So again, it's either we go this way, a magic word or linking stuff here, or here. Okay, you're looking at teacher's assistant. Not finishing quote. By American US, okay, historian, okay, so, yep. So it's a deletion of a teacher's assistant, which is... What's the deletion? Oh, site. Oh. Oh, so teacher's assistant is TA. Okay. Not finishing quote is site. By American. Okay, American being US, and then that... Okay. That's better than I think, because it's difficult to make either of these work smoothly, I think. So that's better. And I'm just going to convince myself, I mean, I'm sure... Teaching assistant done. Beautiful. Happy. Hang on. So it's teaching, right? Not teachers. So teaching assistant. If we want to be... Unless someone can definitely say that teachers is a thing. I'm just going on what I'm seeing here, right? For example. That's all right. No, I mean, it's good. Like, you know, teachers teaching, it's a minor thing, but we want to get it right, yeah? And, you know, Google's telling me this straight away, so I'm going to go with this, right? Teaching assistant. Not finishing quote, right? Not finishing means deletion, right? That's a clear indicator. By juxtaposition. Okay, so that's good. We could, if we're worried about how difficult that is, yeah, always best to check, for sure. Yeah, that's why I'm big on Googling things for the deaf, you know. So we looked at this, Roman historian or Latin for silent or quiet. One makes more sense than the other for a surface, etc. You know, larges I had things, xenon, we had a look, 54, noble gas, element, right? You look at that and then you start and you go from there. We could do that if we're really worried about how hard it is. American Roman, that's a thing. Americans US, and then Roman historian as the deaf is very easy, right? It's very clearly signposting, you know, more clearly signposting that this side's the deaf rather than this side. But we can leave this, you know, that's fine. Because American historian's a good surface. Okay. So we have charade. Yep. Okay. I mean, it's inevitable that we're going to use a lot of charades. It's just the way of the words, right? You know, X being old, like your ex-partner, you know. Cite, quote, you know. Like these American US, these things are valid things to use. Just have to be a bit careful with not using too many in a row or, you know, mix them up with other things. There's deletion. Okay. Cool. Alright, this is good. Making good stuff happening here. Historian of Antiquity. Interesting. Let's go back to Tacitus. Historian and politician. Right, let's have a look at the wiki. Okay. We're not going to do this, right? We're just Tacitus, yep. Okay. Okay, Roman historians. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. If we're worried, we can add more things later, but I think the wordplay is pretty fair. We've got 4 checked letters. American, US, that's a solid thing, right? Very solid. And that will then clue you into, okay, American is near the end of the clue. This is at the end of the word, right? So we're probably having the def here. So this is all other stuff. Not finishing is definitely a directional type situation, right? If something's not finishing, there's a deletion. And it can't be that long a word because there's only 5 letters prior to that. So this is good. All right. Age is the next one. Okay. Now, age is going to have a lot of definitions, right? Duration, era, right? Right, those 2 things are a thing. This could be double defy territory, right? Because there's a lot of definitions of age. Right, mature, ripen. So this looks absolutely prime territory for a double def, right? Which I think we go with because we haven't got one. And there's lots of definitions. I mean, we can still look at others. Leverage, no. Okay, but I think we can work with that. You know, that as one distinct period of history, right? So we got length of time, period of history, and grow old. So 2 of those 3 we can absolutely use. Payments at the banks left for days. For days is an age, right? Like a long time. Oh, deletion, interesting. Wages. The banks left, so the edges left, deletion. Okay. Which I like. let's see, can we get a double def somewhere else? We can do a double def here. Let's just look at air for a second. Just manner, mood, quality. Okay, I know air is a music thing. Okay, express voice, sure. Right, music. A short melody song, okay. Short melody, right. The tune. Right. So I think that's fine. We could probably do a double def here. And I would suggest we look at this clue next, and after we do this one. Okay, so that's a straight up deletion, which is fantastic. All right, so we've got to be careful because we've got a deletion here, not there, because we've got anagram or spoonerism. Deletion here, so no deletion here, which I don't think we're going to have happen. Here we're going to probably get a homophone, that's fine. Here it's an anagram, so that's fine. Right, let's look at this one now. So, definitely here a double def. Oh, triple def, interesting for this one. Generation matures with old age. Oh, for 17 across, okay. No, I like that. I like what you had. Yeah. Okay, how about this? Right, quality tune. So it's like a fantastic song, right? It's quality, it's good. Chef's kiss, right? And double def, quality, air of something. Tune, air, music. That works. Right, quality, and a tune. Tick tick, double def, happy, right? That's a good one. So that works nicely. It's good to get a double def, short and sweet. It's a nice one. Okay. So let's revisit this. We're doing really well with the variety of clues, right? Okay. So we got some charades, anagrams, containers, deletions, hidden, reverse hidden, couple of reversals, spoonerism, cryptic def, double def. This is good. So I'm happy with that. It's a really good mix. Okay. Awesome. All right, how are we going? So I'm just looking at how many clues we've got left that we have to resolve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so 14. That's good. Let's press on. So let's look at this homophone, I think. Can we make this work? Now, place in. This is going to be interesting. Put in a particular position. So, set down, right? Any of these things. Arrange, position, set down. Right. Set out array. Right. As a def, right? Place in. Now, place in. I don't think it's going to help us, but... okay. Obviously sin, right? Offense against religious and moral law. Yep. Reprehensible. Like reportedly morally reprehensible act, you know. But then to put like this angled, right? Right, because it's place in, that does make it trickier. Rather than just place, right? Because a place is a location or a setting in which a morally reprehensible act can occur. But because it's place in... I mean... I'm not super happy with that, but that kind of idea, is that any chance of working? Do we need a question mark? That's going to get a lot of question mark clues in the puzzle. Unless we go with the insert angle, right? Right, place in, insert something. So, Or the other question, I suppose, is can we get a homophone somewhere else in the grid if this is too tricky to work? Probably not, at least not a full homophone. Because I think that's the only... We don't have a homophone yet, right? So we want to get it... Or at least a partial homophone. Can we get a partial somewhere? Yeah, I don't think we can get homophone anything else, right? Set in act. Wrong for the audience. For the audience, homophone. Set is place, right? Set in is place in. Yeah, I think because it's sin, right? The act is the sin. You need like breaking moral law or breaking religious law or, you know, right, immoral act. I mean, wrong is a synonym. I don't know if that's strong enough, just using wrong. Yeah, that's tricky, right? Which is why I wasn't happy with in, right? I mean, of, right? Setting of, morally reprehensible. Setting of, because that gets rid of which, right? What about something like this? Are we a bit closer with this? Actually, I shouldn't get rid of that. Okay, act evil for the audience at set. So you're going the other way, switching order of def and wordplay. I think I like this order a bit more myself. Right, a setting of. Right, it's a setting of, okay, morally reprehensible act. For the audience homophone. Yeah, I agree. I don't think we can use in as a connector because it's in the def. Right, it's in the answer. Now, the other thing is we don't need to do a full homophone. If this is too tricky, we can just do something like this. Right? In can just be in the surface, and it's just a connecting word. And place equals place plus in, right? That absolutely can work. So do we try something for this? This makes it eminently easier, in my opinion. And it still gets a homophone in there. It's not exactly the best homophone, is it? Question mark. Plays. Ooh. Place. Ooh. Ooh, I don't know if that works then, actually. Layout. blueprint about church. Okay, plan, right. So you're going for not a homophone then. So church is C, Church of England, I. Blueprint about church. Yeah, place in would be fantastic. I just don't know if we can make it work. So you've got the wordplay there, right? Blueprint plan about church. Obviously I, church aisle. And then set out. So it's one of those words that has a billion definitions, right? I'm just trying to get a partial homophone here as well. I'm just looking at other things like, you know, lace, right? Lays, lace, ace, plain, on instead of at. It's okay, Taste, no worries. I mean, we're here for obviously a while, right? We're puzzling it out. So act evil for the audience at set, which would be act evil for the audience on set. Right, act evil is place in for the audience, homophone, on set. That's the best of this that we've got, definitely. I think it's important that we spend a bit of time just on this, because I do like this a lot. That's the only thing, right? I just... The wordplay is fantastic, because this is, you know... Act evil for the audience on set. Or, what about... let's see. Is evil act better than act evil? Because a sin is an evil act, right? If it's morally reprehensible, the act is evil. Parcel needing area plus in def. Now, I think I do want this homophone, right? Because it's the only one I think we're going to get. Yeah, palace, right? Okay. Okay. I mean, we have flexibility here. It's a wild suggestion, but very, very, very late suggestion for this. Right? Place on, which is set. That kills the homophone, I believe. But place on is set, right? Set is something you place on thing. But yeah, I agree we want place in, right? And I think evil act is better than act evil. I mean, we can change the order any time, but... we may have to compromise and put in the actual thing, potentially, to make this work. Which I don't love necessarily, but the wordplay is too good to miss the opportunity to put it in, I think. No, oh, interesting. All right, that's fine. So there's flexibility there, right? That's the beautiful thing about some of these things. Right, if I'm like place in, set in, I don't love it, but I'm just trying to see if this is a thing. This service is better. Can set equals place in? Is that a thing? No worries. We'll still be here for at least another half hour, 40 minutes. Hour tops, but probably a little while. At least. Yeah, act evil is place in. Plays an act evil is a sin. Okay. Act evil for the audience on set. Act evil for the audience to set in. Act evil for the audience to set in. No, that surface doesn't read well at all. So that's this. Set in place is like put, lay, stand. So that absolutely things. That absolutely works. place in can be insert. Let's just look very quickly at insert. I also want to think about I want to do it's not working. Like I want synonyms for place in. Put down. One of these words has to work, I feel. Like leave evil act for the audience or something. Put down. I really want this to work. We could get around this actually. There is a way. We could make this a defless clue, right? No def. Because the def sorts, it's hard for us to do right now, right? Because the wordplay is fine. Act evil, place in, homophone is place in. We could just not have a def, and we can instead of having 3 lacking defs, we could just have 4 lacking defs, right? That just solves all our problems. That's the whole problem we're having, correct? Because it's really tough for us to make this work, but I really want the homophone to work. So I think we go with this. You look at the other order. Set of, drama, wrong for the audience. Oh, interesting. Drama is an act. Okay. Wrong is a sin. for the audience homophone. Set of. Oh, there's the linking where it's set, place in. I'm just not sure that set rather than set in can be used. That's my only thing. Set, place is fine. If it was just place, we'd have no discussion. We'd already on to the next clue or the next one after that. Does set equal place in? Yeah, which is why I'm thinking, because we've already got a few defless clues, I think we could just add another one, right? Because it makes it tricky. And this is a very interesting discussion point. I'd love to bear witness to if someone ends up solving this puzzle and there's a discussion on this. You could discuss this for a while, right? This interesting situation. But I'm going to go with make it defless because we've already got 3. The other words I really don't see us having a problem with. It's only because we've got this homophone. And I just don't think we're going to get otherwise. And it's nice to have a homophone. Really it is. And the wordplay is so good. Really it is. And the service is great, right? Now, 1. This one is 3 of 4. This one is 4 of 4. I'm just going in chronological order from across to down. This is 1 of 4, and this is 2 of 4. Okay, I think that's fine. I think we're justified in that because it's tough. I just don't think it's a straight substitution. I don't really want to use set in, or, you know, because in's in the thing. Yeah, it's a theme. If it wasn't a themer, I would just say place on, set, we'd move on with life. You know, but because it's a themer, I think it's interesting. And it gives them, the solver, 4 words instead of 3, which might be a little more interesting, potentially, right? You got a bit more puzzling to do to work it out. And these are, you know, defless clues, right? And if you get this I and you solve this top corner, you've already got 2 of 3, right? If we didn't have this one as part of the defless. And now that we've got this one and this one, it makes it the meta puzzle, if you like, a bit more interesting, in my opinion, anyway. So let's go with that. That's fine. Okay. And importantly, we've got our homophone, which is 20A, and it's probably the only one we're going to get, I think. Okay. So let's go out a bit. Let's do this. 1A. Oh, right. Thank you. Don't know why that didn't save. Let's check the others. 4-3. 3-4. 5-2. 2 apostrophe 1-3-2. 3-2-3-7. 2-4-2-2. 8-3. 6-3. 7-4. 5-2. 5-5. Tick. Done. All right. Done. Done. Okay. Done. 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 Okay. Done. Done. Apostrophe. Asterisk. Done. This one we haven't looked at yet. Exactly. Done. Done. No, not done. Ideas. Okay. Done. 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 Done, 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 done. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 across clues left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. 4 across and 9 down. Again, I think we just keep pressing on the ones that we haven't looked at yet. Like here we've got 2 options, or we can just use the word covers, right? Here, we could look at this. I just want to look at ones we haven't looked at, because this might then help us with these ones, which we have so many ideas for, but it might just be too hard to think about this now. So the next one we haven't looked at at all is unripened.
Unripened.
Okay. Green, yeah. So raw, right? Raw is not cooked. Right, fresh. Is fresh... Fresh, I don't know if that's this... Immature. Okay, OED. No. Cambridge. Not helpful. Not ripe. We don't use the word ripe. Green, immature, unripe. So green or immature probably is what we want to do. One French, un, yep. With 3 soldiering around Spain. It's immature, right? Is the def. Rip. Recursive, I was going to say 3 down, yep. Okay, that's tricky. And because there's only 1 3, we can just do it as 3, not 3 down. Depends how tricky we want to make it. Rip is force. Oh, E. Espanol, right? Okay, E is Spain. So that's fair. And it's 1 letter out of the rest, right? And if you get 1 French, un, that's pretty fair. Rip force. Right? If you get unrip, then you're going to get the rest, I think. And the 3 is so good in the surface, I think we absolutely go with it. Yeah, right. So we've got choices there. I like England more, and I'll tell you why in a second. This is just a bit clunky. You know, this wordplay is fantastic. Just the clunky bit, like, comma, it's... I wonder if we need to switch this order or somehow make this a bit smoother. The wordplay is fantastic, but the smoothness is not there for me just yet. So we're going to have charades galore here. Okay. We're going to have a recursive reference, which is fine. We're going to have container. Okay. And I would say England's better than Spain for the surface because England and France have had battles of war in the past, right? You know, the Dover to Calais tunnel. It's just a better feel surface for me. I think that works really nicely. You know, Spain's fine, but I think it's just a bit harder, and this feels better for me. I just don't know about this situation. Can we improve this a bit? Make it smoother. What about if we put England green? Like a green, like a lawn, like a park. Is that a thing? Green? Colour. Lawn, right? Public grassy land. It's a lawn. It's a grass, right? A green is a lawn. Right for the surface. Right, it's England green, like an England grassy court situation. But green is unripened. And I don't want to change the wordplay at all. I think it's really good as it is. You're putting immature at the other end. That was my first thought. One in France. Yes, this is good. Yeah. This is good. Yeah, always a great trick is just to change the order of different wordplay. And it works like magic so many times like you wouldn't believe. Force 3... Interesting. Immature 1 in France. Yes, because you can't put forces now. Force 3. French force. Oh, yes. That's good. That's better. Yeah, I like that a lot more. Immature 1 French. Un. Force rip. Right, def. Un. Rip, end around E. Just have to tidy up this last little bit. So 3, soldiering around England. Yeah, that works now, right? That's really good. Are we agreed that the surface now reads well? Immature 1. Do we agree? Immature 1 French force. 3 soldiering around England. Ooh, is that working? Yeah, right. I think what Ignotus had was better. 1 in France. Right? I think we have to go with that. Force 3. Yeah, immature one in one in French. Yeah, I was thinking like immature one in French. No, can't have the plural. It's not going to work. Immature one in French force joins. Yes, joins is the word. Yes. One in French force. That's better, right? Force joins. Yeah, joins is good. That's the juxtaposition we needed. Yeah. Really good now. That's fantastic. That's a perfect collaboration. We all jumped in there with some ideas and we made it work nicely. So, as a final check, def, un, rip, juxtaposition, unrip, 3, recursive to 3 down, end, soldiering around, E. Right, soldiering around, container, E for England. Nice. All right, awesome. Now, what we don't have is like a letter picking specifically an initialism, or we had the, what was it? No, we didn't end up going with the evenly struts, right? So we could do, you know, leaders of something. You're looking at free. Key to cycle off. Reef is a key. Interesting. Yeah, to cycle. I don't think I've heard of reef as a key, have I? Oh, it's one of the ones of like a barrier reef. Interesting. Okay. Jagged rock. All right. Cycling clue is interesting. Let's look at free for a sec. Let's see. Yeah, so what... So off is free, right? Spare is off. Interesting. Yeah, I'm liking that more. I'm just trying to see if off and free are a straight swap, right? Free off. Like if something's off, it's like if it's 100% off, it's free. Spare being free, like to free something is to spare it. That's stronger for me. You notice also went back to another idea, which was she spent her free off. Okay. Off time. Yeah, you spend your free time shopping. You spend your off time. Off time. It's less common, like I wouldn't say off time, I'd say free time. But I mean, I like spare key to cycle because spare being free is stronger for me. And it's still keeping the cycling bit, which is nice, right? And key being riff is tricky, but again, you get 2 checked letters. Spare being free, I think that's probably okay. Right, just as an example, spare me from this boredom, free me from this boredom. Right, that's a very strong substitution. I think this free me off works in some parts of the world, but not for me. Down under, I think. I don't know. Ignotus, where are you from? Because you're probably in a different part of the world where that's common enough for you. And people like folk in your area. Whereas for me, that's a bit less... Which is why I'm inclined to go more with the spare, right? But the cycling's great. That was your idea, which is fantastic, right? I like that a lot. And I'm in fact going to put as a separate clue type, a cycling clue. I have time off, time free. Okay, that's a little closer to convincing me. I mean, I have free time / I have time off. So that does work. I have off time is less good for me than I have time off. But free and off do work in that situation. So I think it does work. I think the surface for this version, right, spare key to cycle is nicer than key to cycle off, I think, if I'm honest. Yeah. I think it's the surface, right? That's what leans me this way more than that. You've convinced me that free and off works nicely. You probably have to do it as I said, at least for me anyway. I have free time, I have time off. You know, if you say it that way, that works for me. But I think the surface is just nicer here, that's all. And I think when you're between clues, I always try and go with the one that has the nicer surface. Because that's what people appreciate more when they read a clue and they see a puzzle. You know, they like good surfaces, right? But this is great, right? Really good pickup. All right. We've been at it for 2.5 hours. I think let's press on for a little more. Maybe 15, 20 minutes, half an hour tops. We'll try and get a few more done. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 3 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that's 11 left. So we've got 3 across and 8 down clues left. That's a total of 11. Let's go back to this for a second. And you can see we've added quite a few types of clue devices. Just a little more to see that that is everything. Okay. Charades. A few anagrams. 2 containers, deletions of hidden, a reverse hidden, that's nice. 2 reversals, spoonerism, cryptic def, double def, that's great, right? Good variety there. I actually think, weirdly, which I don't think I've ever said before, I actually think we probably need a few more of these. Right? We've got 11 clues left, and we've looked at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 31 clues. We've looked at 20, and we've only got 3 anagrams. Feels a little light on the anagram front to me. So we probably need a few anagrams. And on that basis, I'm going to look at this one next, because it's a nice long one. And see what we get for this. Now, keep in mind that we do have potential anagram here, or a spoonerism, and we do have anagram ideas here, as well as a letter bank, which, you know, is its own type of clue, but, you know. So, you know. Okay. So there's no full anagram, but let's have a look if we can get a partial. Maybe that will inspire us to find a longer phrase and delete some letters, right? Because that works. Much like, you know, leaving nothing out, right? Non-fossil fuel anagram, leaving O out. So, you know, that absolutely works. Right, doing an anagram with a deletion. Okay, so here we go. Cereal rye, clear rye. Okay. Let's just have a look what's left here. C E R E A L E. Okay, LD, not bad. L E A R E Y E D. Okay, hey, that's great. Double-handed. LR. So that works nicely. I'm already seeing potential there. Really red. Really red. Or relayered. I so hate that. Let's see. R-E-A-L-L-Y-R-E-D. Okay, 2 letters left only. So these partials are very close, which is nice. Yeah, they're all 2 letters left. Okay. Kerry yelled. Ooh, that's a full anagram. That's good. Full anagram's nice. Racer yelled dear clearly. Let's just write that down. Oh, right. You mean this, right? And then def, or at the other end. instead of Carer Racer. Ah, that's interesting. Yeah, Carer or Racer. Or Dear Clearly. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Oh, come on now. Right, Carer and Racer just swaps the R and C, so that absolutely works. I'm sure this I just want to verify it because it's important to be right. D-E-A-R. Ooh. There's one A. Did I mess it up? I'm going to try that again. Hang on. D. Oh. Dear. That's why I was messing up. Sorry. Thank you. Let's try that again. Dear. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I think there's lots of choices, but I think so we got a full anagram or there, or we could do like this situation. Now, before we get more excited, we should probably have a look. So aged care, right? Serves the needs of older adults. Okay. Right. That's a thing. Older than 65, I'm not sure I want to do that necessarily. You know, it's not necessarily going to be that everywhere. Okay, well, I mean, it says 65 is a common benchmark in many Western countries. But see, the UN defines older persons as 60 plus, and they split, so that gets messy, I think. Okay. I don't like the carer because care is in the answer. So I think it's either of those two. So let's see. It's not going to be old people as the deaf, but like something like this, right? There's your fodder. There's your anagrind. You could even do, right? If we want to make it a bit tricksy, we can add in some punctuation. Crazy old people, right? You know, but we got to work on this part of it, right? Right, and someone who's racing can be crazy old people as they're going by, you know, like racing by in a, you know, on a motorcycle or, you know, whatever. That's a thing you can envisage happening in a parallel universe. I think the trouble here is going to be the deaf making it work. And whereas for here, we sort of had a lot of trouble with making the deaf work. And so it's a themed answer with no deaf. I think here, we don't want to do that. Because this work, crazy old people works like nice with the surface. We just have to work on this, I think. As a suggestion, right? It's not, you know, that we have to go with this. We could go with this one, for example. Right, because it's to do with old people, so we could do like aged, geriatric. So these are possibilities. This definition's tricky, isn't it? Senior. Okay, senior's a good word too. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could potentially get a cryptic def sort of, you know, senior tend or senior help, you know? Right, like aged care, like elderly care, senior help. You know, that could work. I feel like one of these two words could work. I particularly like senior, I think. Senior's nice. It has potential for a surface, right? Aged could work in like a cheese sense, right? Aged cheese, but I mean, we don't really have that angle kind of happening. Are you over the hill? Okay. Okay. This helps. Interesting. Okay. Or doing it the other way, as you suggested. Right, I'm just changing the order to make it suit. Okay, so we're looking at this anagram. We've got these two choices if we need to fall back on them, but I think we're making this work. Somewhere in here is a good anagram. We're getting there. I think it's a really good suggestion for the def. Right, over the hill is nice. It's helping people over the hill. I mean, yeah, so my idea is this, right? So there's your anagrind. There's your fodder. And there's your def. Not like that. This helps if you're over the hill, right? And if he's yelling, this helps if you're over the hill, you know, kind of thing, right? I don't think we can do an exclamation mark because it's not an and lit. I want to put this in for the surface meaning, like the surface reading. Like, if you're over the hill, this helps if you're over the hill, like it's a shouting thing. And Taste, you've just gone straight up Cryptic Def, right? Or we could change the order. This helps if you're over the hill, yelled Crazy Racer. So that works as well. Declared berserk without hands to get over the hill. This helps. Yeah, again, because it's comma and a bit at the end, it seems a bit clunky. Whereas if you, the first way you did it, are you over the hill? This helps. Sort of, it's like an ad. Are you over the hill? This helps. Works nicely. The anagram version works that puts the anagram in the middle. So crazy. So you want to do this. Something like this. Or the other way. No. One of these choices. Yelled, racer crazed. Ooh. I mean, we don't have to use the word crazy, right? That's just what I came up with, right? There's a million anagram indicators, right? Yeah, I'm sure we can always change this. Right? What can a racer be? A racer can be crazy, they can be fast, they can be berserk, right? I mean, let's go. We'll go up, right? There's a million here, right? We haven't got below F this stream, right? As far as anagram options go. Right, so like car racing, you know, going fast, drifting on a track, you know, anything like that. So we're looking for a racer that yelled, this helps if over the hill. No, try again. No, getting there. This one. There we go, next tab. Okay, if you're a racer, like a car racer, what are you? Are you chaotic? There's crazy, but again, there's so many choices, right? Deranged. Disheveled. Dodgy. Drifting. Drifting is curious. Let's put drifting in. That's better, I think. Right? If you're a drifting racer, you're a type of racer, right? You drift, right? Drift around corners. So that's good. That's way better already, I think. Erratic driver. This is good. So these are good words, right? Drifting or erratic, right? Either of those work nicely. Oh, you're looking at the anagram a different way. Wrongly recalled. Okay, having year. Interesting. Okay, so you're still doing the full anagram, you're just doing it a bit more piecemeal. You're not having the fodder together, you're having fodder A with fodder B. Oh, okay. Two, 4, 6, 10. Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, I think this is good. One of these words is good. Again, I don't think we need to go much further. We've already got two good anagrams there, I think. Yeah, frenetic, frenzied. Drifting, yeah, right? It's you know, it's a type of racer, right? You drift in a car. Like, that works really well. Yeah. Okay. Def. Right, aged care, right? Cool. Awesome. Let's add the anagram in. So it's 6 down. That's our fourth anagram. Awesome. All right. So let's maybe do this. Okay. Just trying to manage this a little more. Okay. All right. Let's see. One. These two. This one. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8. So 11, is that 11? Is that right? One, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, awesome. There's 11 left. Let's do one more. We'll call it there. It's been 3 hours or so. So, let's pick one we haven't looked at. So out of end, universal, local, national pars, maybe, or burn, which one of those do we think? I'm kind of inclined to do burn because then we have, you know, kind of, that's the end of this last little bit of clues, right? It's kind of isolated because these other clues are all done. So maybe burn, if we can make something work for that. So let's look at burn. Right.
Burn.
Burn. Be on fire, blaze. Yep, be alight. Right. Set fire to ignite. This is ignition, so we don't want to use ignite. Okay. But incinerate, torch, right? Okay, let's just keep looking at the defs. And it's an injury. Okay. Type of fuels, energy source. That seems a bit harder. Okay. Burn. Produce by copying. Okay. Burn, informal insult. Oh, look at this. It's informal, but this could be a double def too, for sure. North American English, Australian and New Zealand English. An active clearing of vegetation by burning. Yeah, burning off, right? That's the thing that, we see all the time around here. They burn off, forests or, very, like, bushfire prone areas that have very dry grass. They just burn them off in a controlled manner. British English, no, I'm not using that one. Small stream, Scottish English, no, not using that. Okay, but we've got plenty of choices there. You're looking at this one. All right, I'll put down this. So dear, what do we got here? Mountain ranges at last overtook. Overtaken. That just reads better to me. Not sure if any capital Fs. So, okay. Okay, right, yeah, so Alps. Yeah, but we need... Because there's Alps. He's saying the A is overtaken by the Alps? No. Because you're having nations around the outside. So, Alps. So that could work, right? We just need to swapulate A for S. What about at first? Right? The first letter of at is A. Okay, hang on, no. At last, overtaken by... A. Okay, you're looking at something different now. Mountain about to be overtaken. I'm just looking at Alp, okay. Countries. Is A about? Is that a thing? Yeah, no, I get that for sure. We've got one hidden already. I mean, we're looking at the hidden here, but I think that works better what you're suggesting now. And we could probably get it hidden with one of these short words, I think. So that's reasonable to not do it here. So about to being A, I just want to convince myself that that's a thing. I mean, this is going to be ugly, isn't it, if I try and search this. Okay, A, anti before. Chambers, okay. Let's have a look. This could be interesting. Do we search A? Okay. Mountain area. Yeah. I mean, ranges is... Yeah, I'm just... Yeah. So mountain ranges is a good surface, but so is mountain area. And I don't think we need 2B, right? Right, mountain area, Alp A, overtaken by, on the inside of, countries, nations, founding fathers. We probably need a question mark, I think, because national pars is a... Actually, we need to also then... This we haven't... Well, actually, no. 2 apostrophe 1 or 3? That's tricky. I actually don't know here. Is it 8 comma 2 apostrophe 1 or 8 comma 3? 3, right? I think 3 makes sense. Pars, okay, yeah. Yep, fine, good. And I think the question mark's necessary here because founding fathers are national pars, not national fathers. You know, I think that's kind of needed. We don't have that many question marks, right? 1 here, essential there, for sure. Here we won't have 1, okay. 2, 3, if we put it here, 4, 5. That's okay. Yep, I'm happy with that. Have we put probing? Okay, fine. I'm just looking at the container clues and the indicators for the containers that we've used. So probing, broken, around, caught. Okay, fine. Good. So we haven't used the word overtaken yet. So that's good. Right, we'll just put America because, you know, for example, right, that's the 4 founding fathers. I think that's the kind of only example, but we'll put it there. So we've got a... Right, what I'll do is... This will be the last clue for tonight, but while I'm doing this, I just... People load that up there so people can kind of check as I'm doing this. 12 down. And a container being 12 down. Okay. Let's put that up here for a second. Alright, so far what I have is... So this one is a charade, an anagram, and a container, right? Charade, anagram, inside container. Yep. Reverse hidden. It's the only one. Charade. I just realized you can't see. Let's put that there. There we go. Okay. Charade. Container. Around. Okay. 11A. See, I'm missing things here. This is why I'm doing this. Right, O is none. That's a charade. Let's just add this. Click again. There we go. So charade, reversal, which we didn't put down, right? Okay. And a cryptic def, okay, question mark. 54 being the element. Okay. Anagram. It's 13. 15. Deletion. Site. Minus E. Charade. 16. We're not sure yet. Move on. Not sure yet. Move on. 20 across. Homophone. Yeah, I'll come to that in just a second. Notice I'm just going to go through the list. So keep that in mind for a tick. Move on. We'll do that next time. 24. Charade. And reversal. 26. Charade. Un. Right. Rip. and a container. Charade. Reversal. Okay. Anagram, which is 28. So that is there, correct? Good. That one will come to because we've got choices. This is just a straight up charade. 2 down. That's incorrect. Okay. Anagram. Come back to that. This one. Cycling. Cool. This one. 12 down. Charade. And container. Okay. Hidden. Nice one. Come back to that. That's a hot mess, but we know we're doing a letter bank for this one, right? Pepper dip situation, but we'll get there next week, or week after, or at some stage. Spinnerism. Grout O. Outgrow. That's fantastic. Great find. Which is the only one we have so far. 19 down. That is a charade. With the container. That is a deletion. Okay. Burn we'll look at next week. Got plenty of ideas. And double def. Tick, tick. Happy with that list, I think. Just the other thing that we did to tidy up before we head off. Notice wants to have a look back at this one. Around 0 times 55. Okay. Yeah, about to around. It both works. Seems like an estimate. All right, well, let's do the age-old. Now, I don't know if... let me think about this for a second. I don't know what I would normally do. Grabbing a highlighter, that's all I have in front of me, not a pen. No, that answers that question very much for me. It's definitely together. Closer, I think. Yes, well. Okay. So notice feels around is better. Taste, what do you think? I think about's better. You always say there's around this number, not about this number. I mean, around about, but that's too wordy. So around in the absence of having both, I'm happy to go with that. That's fine. Just tie that up. Okay. Awesome. Very good. Fantastic work, everyone. So I believe that leaves 10 clues for the next time to finish, which is precisely 3 across clues. This one, which we have sort of looked at. This one, which is a hot mess, but we'll get there. And this one. Got ideas? Okay. And this one, we looked at. Kind of have a pass, but we need to fine-tune it depending on the other things. New words. This one we've kind of looked at. Downright twice, or sensei, for example. This one, which, again, we think we know what we're doing here. Letter bank, which is nice. Or a Cryptic Def, right? Crash in the capsicum market. You know, spicy downturn, you know, that'll work. And this one, burn, which we've got so many choices. Again, double def looks good. We've got all sorts of choices there, definitely. So that was how many there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 10. Yep. 3 across, 7 down, 10 clues. Easy, that's in one stream to be done. Okay? Beautiful. So now, before I go, here is the interesting thing. I am waiting to hear back from a few people. No worries, notice. Thanks for jumping in again. And thanks, Toast, for your help and suggestions and things. Here's the thing, though. I'm waiting to hear back from a few people regarding another crossword stream to start a different crossword-related thing. So that might happen in a few weeks. And I do want to do some Sudokus before the end of the year, which is probably going to be next week, which is here, right? 20th. That's next week. This is the day that special crossword stream might happen. If that happens then, that will change things entirely, I think. So the question then becomes, what do we do? I know people usually have time off around Christmas, New Year. So I'm considering flipping things around. And by that I mean, rather doing Sudokus here, which what I was planning on. The other possibility is we finish this next week, 10 clues, which we'll get there in a couple of hours. Then I can do some Sudokus, which is probably reasonable, actually. The question is, I'm just going to look at my list of Sudokus here. What am I looking at doing? Okay. Well, there's 6 Sudokus, and then another 6. That's definitely going to happen in a later stream. It could be 6 or 12 that I do. Or it could be 6 and then maybe a few others depending on what I find. So that might actually work. If someone is streaming then solve this, you could film me on the streamer. Yeah. Yeah, I will see if I can find someone to do this. Often folks in the US are good people for me to ask because of the time difference. Like, for example, it's probably a very early morning in the US for people. Early morning Saturday. Because as you can see from my clock, it's almost midnight Saturday. So Sunday morning. And I have a few people I could ask, potentially. So yeah, I'll see how I go on that front. And endeavour to let people know. But yeah, okay. I think I'm decided then. Next week, we will finish this. 10 clues left. That should take 2 hours, let's say. No more than that. And then I'll do some Sudokus. At least 6, and maybe a few more. I'll see if I can find a few different ones. I've got some ideas where I can look for that. So let's do that next week. So, Cryptic Crossword, Collab number 6, part 4. To finish off, and then some Sudokus, and then probably another crossword stream on the 27th. So 1, 2 streams, and I might throw in a bonus stream, you know, probably not before Christmas. So I'll do the 20th, because I'm working this day, Christmas and Boxing Day. You know, obviously not going to stream on those days for obvious reasons, and I'm not going to stream New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Again, obvious reasons. So I might throw in a special stream on a Monday or a Tuesday, potentially. I'm working this day, but a half day, so... And then I'm back at work this week. So, you know, keep an eye out. There might be a bonus stream during the week. You know, between Christmas and New Year. Potentially people are off and they might be able to tune in on, you know, a Monday or Tuesday when they otherwise might not. But yeah, next week, let's do that. So I'll endeavour to start around about 8 p.m-ish my time, which is when I usually try. So about 3.5 hours ago next week, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's a bit flexible, right? So we'll see how we go with that. Cool. All right. On that note, thanks everyone for tuning in, for chatting and lurking and all that good fun stuff. And I'll catch you all next week, where we'll finish this puzzle, then do some Sudokus. And if I have an answer on the Crossword stream in 2 weeks' time, which is planned, I'll let you know. And we'll go from there. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Check out. Bye for now.